From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. Now, you know what? I'm going to do this a little differently today. We've been going higher all month in October. You know the spooky month of October? Well, it's not been the spooky month of October. It's been the bear killer. The S&P made it all the way up to 2034 in Globex last night, chopped around all day, recently sold off, made a new low down at, or made an early low at 2013. I was calling about all these sell stops all morning long, and then just recently sold back off down to, pop back up to 2024, and then sold back off just recently down to 2016 late. Total volume is 1.6 million minis and 4,000 big S&Ps trading in the pit. MOC, the MIM started out showing 88 million to sell, flip-flop to 100 million to buy, and I don't have the actuals yet. Tomorrow we've got the Jobless Claims number, we've got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, we have the FHFA Price Index, we have existing home sales, leading indicators, the EIA Natural Gas Report, a 2, 5, and a 7-year note auction, a 30-year TIPS announcement, Fed balance sheet, and money supply. Whoosh! Remember that? Now, look, the markets have just gone too far. In addition to that, what we've seen is we've seen all this big MOC buying, and I don't care what anybody says. I believe that if you want to know where the S&P is, you got to follow the money, and the money's been going back into the S&P. Almost every day this month, minus a couple of days, there's been buying balances on the close. And those few days that have been for sale have been very, very small. It tells me that there's money going back into the markets here. Now, is that going to hold true all the way into the end of the month? Well, you know what? The next 4 days, trading days, are statistically very negative for the S&P. And as we go into the latter parts of the week, today included, and Thursday, I think that there's going to be some profit taking. And with all these sell stops underneath the market in the S&P, it's been pretty easy pickings on the downside today. I indicated early in the day that there seemed to be some type of flip-flop in the price action between the S&P cash and the S&P futures that indicated weaker prices. I pointed out where the sell stops were. I even came back that after the S&P sold off and bounced back up, I said that if I had to kind of have an overview of what I was seeing, that even despite the fact that the S&P went back up a little bit late in the day, there was selling that was going into it all the way up. Very much a flip-flop from what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, where the S&P would come down a little bit and then those bids would come fluttering back in. I am trying to get these videos back online, you guys, and you know what? We're just going to have to bear with me. I'm getting close on it. We'll leave it like that. We'll see you tomorrow on the opening print.